Stop! It's Simon here. I want to talk to you about a recent post I put on Facebook called Obnoxious. I kind of like it. And on that I was talking about some of the successful people I know, some quite successful, who are sort of obnoxious with the use of language. And I really appreciated all the feedback that I got on that post. Man, I think it was probably the most engaged post I've put on social media in quite some time. And I'll tell you why. One is it was controversial. Two is it was attention grabbing, no doubt about it. Three is that it helped, it touched on a moral issue as well. And four is that it was authentic. I was just being myself, and I think, you know, gosh, and when I consult to business owners and when I consult to people who are trying to find their own brand, I want them to be authentically themselves. And so for some reason, I am drawn to these guys who are kind of obnoxious from time to time with their language. And I was just wondering, why is that? Why am I drawn to someone like Gordon Ramsay, who, gosh, if he came into my restaurant and started swearing like he did, I would hate him. And most restaurateurs hate the guy when he first comes in, and then they love him at the end for the results he's able to produce. Maybe that's the thing that draws me in. Maybe it's that train smash kind of curiosity. It's like, it draws me in like reality TV. What is it about Tony Robbins when he totally changes someone's space by dropping an F-bomb, and it's just like, it kind of freaks them out and it jolts them into paying attention and being fully present in the moment? Or is it that he's just lazy with language? I don't know. Some of your comments were very interesting to me. One of them said, you know, maybe people who swear feel they're getting nervous, or maybe they feel inadequate. Well, I don't know that about Tony Robbins. I think he's pretty comfortable in his own skin. I know he obviously knows how to get results for himself, you know, generating over $5 billion in the last year. So I don't know if it's a feeling of inadequacy, and I don't think it's a feeling of nervousness he gets anyway. Maybe it's just something that's on trend. I know for quite a few years, the tech companies, after reading Steve Jobs' book about how obnoxious he was with his staff, a lot of them were sort of adopting the same kind of nastiness into their management style. So maybe this is just something that's on trend for a little while. And so what does that mean for you? For me, one of the comments which grabbed me by the heart was when a lady said something about kids. I don't think it's great for a role model. And gosh, my own personal philosophy is that on social media or any media, my personal philosophy is what happens in Vegas stays on YouTube, and everything that we say and everything that we do is being recorded right now. And so I want to make sure that I'm okay with anything that I record here for my kids to read, for my kids to see, my kids to view, and to experience, you know. So that's, gosh, my kids are the things that keep, my kids and my wife are the ones that keep me on the straight and narrow, because I want to be a great example to my kids, right? I want them to use the same language that I do, or better, I hope better. But I just find the whole conversation fascinating. I had some people saying, I like it. And other people said, oh, just be careful with it. You can't use it too much, because it stops being something that changes people's state and something that breaks their pattern and grabs their attention to something that just is obnoxious and shows you as lazy. So yeah, I think there's absolutely a place for overusing that type of language. I definitely don't think we should be in a race to the bottom, right? I think that's a dangerous place to be. And look, I agree with Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn said, don't be lazy with language. Don't miss the words. Because as much as they say a picture is 1,000 words, a word, a rightly chosen word, a correctly chosen word can be 1,000 pictures. So I love language, and I don't want personally to get lazy with language. That's my own personal thing. The other thing is I think I kind of agree with a lot of the comments where they were saying it could show a lack of character. Yes and no. I know that as an employer, if I was looking to employ people right now, if I was looking for a few people, one of the first things that I would personally do, I would be stalking them on Facebook. I would be reading who they present themselves to be on Facebook. And if you're in business, then there are people, and you're in the marketplace, there are people, if you're a real estate agent, there are people who are probably looking at your personal profile to see who you are how you do things, what sort of life you live. And so there's very much a public persona about who you are, the things you stand for. So I find that whole thing fascinating, that everything that we do is being recorded. I would absolutely stalk any candidate who was applying for a job with my organization to see who I thought they were, who they held themselves out to be, and what were the sort of things, the sort of ethics that they believed in or not. I would look at their Facebook profile to tell me a lot about what they probably wouldn't say in an interview. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, interesting conversation. Just wanted to say I appreciate the engagement there. And look, in business, we have to stand out from the competition. We have to ask controversial questions. I think that's cool. I think that's great for grabbing attention. And I think lastly, we have to be authentically ourselves. I put that post up and I said, Obnoxious, I kind of like it. I kind of do. There's something about Tony Robbins. There's something about Gary Vaynerchuk. There's something about Gordon Ramsay. There's something about a lot of these people who are a little bit obnoxious with their language that draws me in. And I don't know what it is, but it's there and I like it. I'm not going to apologize for it. And I don't necessarily think it's right, but it's there. And I'm going to acknowledge and I'm going to call it. I'm going to have the courage to say, I kind of like that. There's got an appeal to me. Maybe it's like a road accident that you see as you're driving past, you have to look. Maybe it's like that when, I don't know, there's 1,000 different examples that you could use. It's just like, maybe it's like reality TV. When you see families which are disintegrating, it's like, you've got to have a look, right? Maybe you've seen a family feud on Facebook and you've gone, ooh, this will be interesting. I can't believe they said that, right? So I think it's good to be authentically you. And that's what I want to be. I want to be someone who is engaging, attention grabbing, providing value, and is authentically themselves. I think the best brands in the world as personal brands will absolutely meet those 4 criteria. Thank you so much for engaging in the conversation. Wish you all the best and I appreciate your feedback. See you soon.